Hey dolls, welcome back. This is the set that I did. It's a black acrylic with a cat eye polish over the top. If you're new here, please hit that subscribe button and click that notification bell for reminders every time I upload. So I just started by filing all the way back down. This is an acrylic overlay over her natural nail. So what I do is I go in with a thin clear base because I am using black, but I always like to do that too to have something to file back down to. Again, welcome back to Sharon's Nail Boutique, and this is a beautiful, short, cute, sporty black acrylic set with the cat eye gel polish over the top, and it's a beautiful like black and purple cat eye line. So I figured it would be best to go in with a black acrylic, seeing how she already had it on the previous set, and it's just a lot easier to use a colored acrylic rather than a gel polish because you don't got to worry about the chipping. So in moving forward, I just move on to the next hand because you can see that one a lot better. So I am doing this in real time. I do speed it up at some point, but I did want to show you in real time how I kind of place my bead around the cuticle, and then I, kind of make it neat around the edges, and then I'll pull the rest down just to get that nice square shape. Because I remember when I first started, I used to have it like nice at the top and then it would like flare out at the bottom, and I couldn't figure out why. And it was basically because I was not pulling my sides in enough and having them tapered enough on the sides. You kind of want to tuck those sides in still, almost as if you're doing a coffin, but not quite. But you still want to tuck those sides in because you do not want it to look like a bell bottom. Or a duck tip. I remember when those came out, I thought they were hideous. It's just my personal opinion, but I do not like the duck flare tips. Moving forward, this is just another repetitive set. All the nails are black, and at the end you'll see me apply the cat eye polish. This is why I've sped up a majority of the video, because it was very repetitive. There are times where I will just keep it in real time, but if it's usually the same stuff on every nail, I'll usually speed it up. So if you're new here, welcome, and thank you so much for subscribing to my channel. I'm so excited to have all you new subbies, and I can't wait to get to 1,000 because I have a huge giveaway in store for you guys. So if you can like and share this video so we could get to 1,000 quicker. I'm really loving that you guys are enjoying my videos, and anything I could do to improve on them, just let me know in the comment section below. So yeah, I'm just making this top area near the cuticle flush, and then I will pull down not the majority of it, but the rest of the bead that doesn't need to be up there still. So just make sure that my side walls are clean. I like to go in with a wet bead just because I feel like it helps me a little more with the more pigmented colors. With blacks, whites, reds, they tend to dry a little faster. So if you go in wetter, it tends to help a little more. So I'm just making that more flush and neater up at the cuticle section, and pulling the remainder of the bead down, and then I move on to the middle finger. And I think I speed it up after I finish with this hand, actually, because then I'm gonna go in with the filing, and I left all that in for you guys today, and sped it up so you could get a little bit of everything. So let me know what you guys think of the videos lately, if they're too long, if they're too short, if you want to see the whole video in real time, if you want it all sped up, if you prefer the music, if you prefer the voiceovers. I mean, let me know, because I haven't gotten much feedback. I'm thinking the more my channel grows, maybe I'll get more feedback from people. I don't know if it's just people don't have the time to watch all the way through, or maybe my videos are too long. I promise I'll work on that and see what I can do different and start cutting out. And we'll go from there. So yeah, I'm just finishing up on this middle finger. I'm making sure that I am laying my acrylic properly and tucking in those side walls, and making sure that it is as thin as possible, because I will go in and cap these as well. So I just want to make sure that my structure is where it needs to be. It doesn't need to be too thick because these are short, sporty nails. So you don't want huge bulk on these because it doesn't need the strength. Obviously, you need some strength, but you don't need a ton, like as if it was a long nail, because it's not. And so as long as you have your shape and your structure correctly made, you don't need a high apex on these. So I just make sure that everything's neat, and then I move on to the next nail. And I always place up at the cuticle. And watch how I, push my bead up. So I push it up to the cuticle as close as I could get it, right? Then I pull down my side. And I'm making sure to pat at that top part to make sure that the bulk of the acrylic is coming down to the point where I need it. Because you don't want most of that up near the cuticle. You want it kind of down a little bit more and then thin it back out again. So you want the nail to be thin coming out from the cuticle, come up a teeny bit, especially on short nails, only up a little bit and then straight out. So you don't need much thickness on these. Again, like I said, just gonna clean up with the toe of my brush. You see how I'm not getting liquid on the finger or the skin? You don't need to, it's not necessary. You can get the toe of your brush to a fine point and clean up in those sidewalls. So again, this is in real time too. I'm just capping these nails. I don't need a lot, just enough to cover the black and to give me enough strength there so when I file I don't cut through my black. It does happen sometimes. If it does, there's ways you can fix it and around it. You could cover it with stones, or you could go in with a pigment. There's lots of ways you could do to fix it, or you could even add more color. But if you've already capped and filed and everything, like I said, you could put stones or a decoration there or something. So I'm just moving on to the ring finger, capping this. So I place it at the cuticle, make sure that it is flush and my sidewalls are pulled in, and I'm patting out most of that bead up at the top. Sometimes I cringe when I see how much product I waste, because I don't always know, like especially getting used to this new brush. It's a size 14, so the beads do pick up a little big, but I'm getting used to it and I'm getting a little better at picking up the right size with this brush. So I just add a little bit more to that free edge because I needed a little more thickness. With your nails, they should probably be just a tad bit thicker than the thickness of a credit card or something like that. So I'm just making sure this is flush up there, pulling the bead down to cover my sidewalls and down near my free edge. So you don't need much clear acrylic, because I did build a majority of the nail with the black. So I just go in with a little bit thin wet layer, not too much, So then I go in and cap the pointer, and it's the same thing on the pointer and thumb. I just wanted to share the application in real time so you can see, most people don't work super fast, Yeah, we speed things up, but that doesn't mean we work that fast. So I know a set could take me anywhere from an hour and 45 minutes to 3 hours, depending on if I'm talking, if the person doesn't know what they want. It usually takes a little while, but usually I'm talking with my clients, and if they're new, I'm getting to know them. If they're repeat clients, then we're talking and just bullshitting and shooting the shit, So I have no problem, and most of my clients don't mind the time because they love the end result. So my repeat clients and people that always come back, they love the atmosphere, they love talking, they love feeling like, and not to be and kind of racist or anything, but a lot of the same complaints that I get is that they can't understand their nail tech, and they feel like they're talking about them, or they feel like anytime there's something wrong, and they tell the nail tech they don't want to do anything to fix it. They just complain or say that it was their fault. So that's a lot of the same complaints that I get about a lot of the like Asian owned salons. And I personally have had my own bad experiences with these places where like they cut you or they burn you and they don't even apologize. They make you feel like it's your fault. I've seen some horrid videos online of Asian women attacking black women because they're racist. And if the, you know, like the Asian salons, if they mess up on your service and you don't want to pay them, they still expect you to pay. Like, but that's not how it works. Like, if somebody is expecting their eyebrows to get done and you totally screw up their eyebrows, like in this video, the grandmother took her granddaughter to get her nails done and her eyebrows done. She got her pedicure. She got the pedicure, and the lady that did her eyebrows totally burnt her head and totally misshapen her eyebrows. So the grandmother was like, I'm gonna pay you for the pedicure, but I'm not gonna pay you for the eyebrows because you messed my granddaughter's eyebrows up, which is understandable. If you're paying for a service, you should be getting what you're paying for, not something that's horrible looking and something that's painful. You shouldn't have to pay for that. No, I don't agree with that. I know these people have to make their money too, and they use product, but at the same time, you shouldn't be rushing and you shouldn't be doing a bad job. You should be doing what you're supposed to be doing. So they started pouring acetone in this grandmother's face and her granddaughter, hitting them with brooms and poles and all kinds of stuff, and throwing acetone in their eyes and stuff. These women should have been arrested, and they weren't. I just think it's disgusting, and it gives a lot of people bad names because people are like, you know, I don't want to go back to these places because of the bad experience. And this is a lot of the reason why I opened up my own place in my house, because of the bad experiences I faced myself. And that's not to say that all Asian owned salons are like this, because they're not. But I find a lot that these places are telling people, oh, this is gel powder, and they charge people gel prices. First and foremost, gel never comes in a powder form. There's no such thing as a powder gel. If you look at the ingredients, it's all acrylic ingredients. What they do is they rip off the original label and then they print out their own labels that say gel powder. That's one of the bad experiences that I had. I ended up paying like $60 while my sister got it for me. She paid $60 for a set that we thought was gel powder, and it ended up being colored acrylic with a thin layer of UV gel on top. So she charged us gel prices for colored acrylic and a thin layer of gel top coat. So in moving forward, just to all you new ladies out there, there's no such thing as gel powder. It doesn't exist. Gel never comes in a powder form. It only comes in a liquid, thick liquid form. Real sticky. That's how you know it's real gel. Moving on, you know, we're always going to experience bad things in life. I think it's how we come out of the situation and how we treat people that makes the difference. And what I did when I had my bad experience, I didn't flip out. I didn't fight the people in there. No, I left and I said, you know what? I'm going to start my own business because this is ridiculous. And it literally started off with just me doing my own nails, my daughter's nails. And then I got good enough to the point where I could start taking clients. And I started charging real cheap, like 15, 20 bucks. And then over the years, as I got better and I progressed a lot, you know, I did raise my price by a few dollars, and recently I bumped it up again because I'm including everything in my price. You know, there's everybody's different in how they do things. I don't charge a lot because I just feel like you shouldn't have to charge a lot to have a pretty set of nails. It doesn't make sense. You could still make a good amount of money and not charge an arm and a leg. So, getting back to the nails, sorry about that rant, ladies. I'm just finishing up on this hand, just encapsulating, and I will go in and file and shape and buff and do all that good stuff and go in with, I decided against doing a base coat on these nails just because I had already roughed up the acrylic surface, and I feel like with cat eye polish, sometimes it could be too much when you use too many layers of gel polishes. And I didn't want these nails to be bulky at all because they're super short, square. So I did not want to take away from the beautiful shape of the nails. So I literally just finished encapsulating. I filed, shaped, buff, and then I went in directly with my cat eye polish over the filed surface. And you could get away with that in some cases when you're doing a dark gel polish over the acrylic. You probably could get away with not having to use a base coat because you already have that surface that it can adhere to. So just checking out the shape of the nail, making sure that, you know, it looks good from all angles. I think I add a little bit more to the free edge. Yep. So I'm just adding a little bit more to that. I think I do go in with a little bit more, because sometimes like you go in with a little bit and you end up pulling most of the bead off. So sometimes that does happen to me, and if that's the case, I just pick up a bead, kind of drain some of the liquid, or wait for it to polymize more on the nail, and then I'll start kind of pulling up on it. So now I've sped this up with my nail filing. So my first bit that I used was this tapered carbide cone bit, and this is in a fine grit. So I use this to go around the cuticle area specifically so I could get it as flush and neat as possible. And then I will again go in with my tapered non-safety medium grit bit, and you'll see that in a second, but that also gets it flush up at the cuticle area. But you have to be very careful with these bits because one wrong move and you can cut your client. So you have to be extremely careful how close you get to the skin with these bits. This one not so much. Again, yeah, you still need to be careful, but it's not as sharp at the tip. It's not a safety bit, but it's not as sharp. It's fine grit, so this is the bit I was talking about. So I skipped ahead, I've sped it up again, and this is the bit. It's a tapered flat cone carbide bit, and it does the trick. It gets those nails extremely flush. So if you're looking for a good bit to get up at that cuticle area flush as possible, I would definitely recommend getting yourself a medium grit cone shaped carbide bit, and it's tapered, so it's small up at the top, and it gets bigger as it comes down. So I'm just filing with my 180/100 grit nail file, and I love these files for she actually had a hanging skin on the side of her nail that was a little irritated, so I just cleaned it up with some alcohol. A lot of my clients pick at their skin and bite the skin around their cuticles, so I have clients that come in and they're already bleeding on the side of their fingers, so I typically don't like to file around edges like that, but I will if I have to, as long as I go in and clean it up first and everything. So that's all I did. So I'm just finishing filing, and then as you can see, I go in here with my cat eye gel polish that I got from my nail supply. There's no name on this, there's only a number, but it's a beautiful charcoal cat eye polish with this beautiful, there's two lines that go through it, and it's like a gray and a purplish color, and it's really, really pretty. And you can't really tell the color of it because it's over the black, but the end picture that I showed you in the beginning, and I put one in the end for you guys, as you can see, I'm doing the line, so you can really see in see the silverish line underneath that. There'll be like a purplish line as well. So the end photo that I took, you could see the bottle and the image on the front of the bottle of what the gel polish looks like. So definitely take a peek at that and let me know what you think of this color. Yeah, let me know what you ladies and gentlemen thought of this set. Did you like it? Did you not like it? Do you want to see more variety? Do you want to see more long sets, more short sets? Let me know what you ladies think. So I really enjoyed doing this set, even though it wasn't a crazy, exciting, colorful set. I love doing nails, period. So it really doesn't matter to me what kind I'm doing as long as I'm doing them. So I just finished going in with my second coat, and then I start using my magnet, and I go in at a different angle on this hand, so they're kind of opposite of each other. That's all you see me here doing. Just making sure I get that line right, you know. Sometimes it could be a pain in the butt if you're not getting the exact effect you're getting. But sometimes they look different depending on the light, how it hits the hands. And just add another thin layer of that because I felt like, okay, maybe I'm not getting the desired effect because there wasn't enough polish on there. So I just went in with another small thin layer of that, and then I noticed, okay, yeah, now I'm getting the effect I want. So that's all I do, and then I put them in my lamp, my UV LED 48 watt lamp from Sun Lamp, and I let those cure, and then I go in in real time with my Bio Seaweed No Wipe gel top coat, and I love this top coat. It is super duper shiny and very healthy for the nail. It's all natural products, so, and vegan free, so you know it's not tested on animals, which is awesome. I love that. Yeah, this top coat is one of my favorites besides Gel 2's No Wipe top coat, which I ran out of, so I have to get another bottle. But Bio Seaweed No Wipe gel top coat is such an amazing top coat. I love this stuff. I literally probably have like 7 bottles of this stuff. You got to be really careful though, because like if you're placing stones and you don't let the glue dry all the way and you go in with your top coat, it could get into your top coat and cause it to not work properly anymore. I learned that the hard way with like 2 or 3 bottles. I went in on a couple of sets over some stones because a lot of my clients just like that encased gel look with the stones. They don't care about them being covered. And I went back in too soon to cover it, and the glue wasn't dry all the way. So yeah, it ended up ruining it. But thank you so much for watching, guys. Here is the end result with that picture I promised you. I hope you all liked it. I'll see you in my next one. Bye, guys. Love you all.